Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. Uh, okay, let me share the screen. Okay, yesterday we completed till poverty, correct? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll begin with the next concept, that is population, problem of population in India. Okay. Now see, in case of population, we are not going to discuss the uh, causes and all. We are just going to see what are the problems due to population. Okay, or you can say effects of population explosion. Yes. What are the problems due to population? Yes, anybody?
Less employment.
Sorry.
Less employment.
Uh,
Food
okay.
problem.
Food problem. Okay, correct.
Poverty.
Poverty. Very good.
Scarcity of resources.
Unemployment.
Correct. Scarcity of employment.
Many people are below the standard of their living.
Okay. No.
We are an underdeveloped country, but we are not very good as in Thailand and other countries because their population is low. So medical facilities, and everything are quite developed.
Okay. Correct.
Even if they run on tourism also, then also the economy is very good.
Correct.
Poor standard of living and malnutrition.
Correct. Migration.
Many social and environmental problems.
Yes.
Unemployment,
Okay.
Deforestation,
disappro-
Okay. Correct.
disappropriate gender composition,
Okay. Okay. We'll discuss
Half
each.
of the population don't have a capacity to buy the goods and products.
You're not audible properly. Now, see here we are going to discuss the main problems that are faced due to population explosion. Okay. The very first problem is problem of investment required. Okay. Now this investment comes from saving. Saving comes from income of the person, and income will be there. A good income will be there when a person is employed at correct place. Okay. Or employment you are going to get only when you are qualified and job opportunities are there in the market. Okay. So obviously due to overpopulation there is gap between individuals and the job opportunities that are available. Okay. And as a result many a times people are underemployed. Okay. Sometimes what happen, they are not skilled, they are not capable of working at a particular position. Okay. That is one part of the story. Other is sometimes what happens that population is huge and job opportunities are less, so even the well qualified people are working at minimum level. Okay. So due to all these things they are not able to earn proper income. Okay. And when they are not having sufficient income, whatever they are earning, that is getting consumed. Okay. उनकी जितनी भी अर्निंग होती है वो डेली कंजम्पशन पे यूज हो जा रही है, and there is no money left with them as saving, or when there is no saving there won't be any type of investment from them. Okay. Now this was from population's perspective. Okay. That they are not having sufficient income to save, so they can't invest. Okay. Same with the investment from other countries, or you can say investment from big industrialists. Okay. Now because they need to have the assurance that wherever they are investing those places are safe, and that is possible only in case of big industries, MNCs, or bigger firms. It is not possible in case of small firms, or you can say small scale industries. And that is the reason even they are abstaining themselves from investing in small or medium scale industries. Okay. If you look at the current rate, or you can say a rough rate of investment, it is just 1.8% per annum. Okay. If you're talking about investment, it is only 1.8%. I mean between 1.7 to 1.9%, it is revolving between these percentage. But looking at the size of the population, at least 7.2 to 7.5% investment is required. So you can see there is a huge gap. Required rate of investment is just, required rate of investment is 7.2, whereas the average investment rate is 1.7 to 1.9. So you can see a huge gap. Okay. 6% is missing. So that 6% is somewhere or the other giving, or you can say impacting economy and its production. Okay. Next is problem of capital formation. Now, if you look at the population composition, we have already discussed about the population composition. That is, it is divided into 3 age groups: 0 to 14. That is group of children who are depending upon the working population. Then 14 to 59 is the working population. Okay, and 60 and above, that is again dependent population. So if you look at India's population, we are having high birth rate and low life expectancy. Okay, that means large number of dependent in the total population. Okay, now here we'll see the concept of large high birth rate and low death rate creates the problem of population explosion. Okay, those who have studied economics, they must have studied this concept in their 11th standard, that what happens in case of population explosion. Okay, now see, when there is high birth rate, okay, high birth rate means when more number of children are taking birth. When birth rate is high and death rate is also high, so that somewhere or the other compensates. Okay, suppose 10 children are taking birth in an hour, and 10 people are dying in an hour, so that increase in population due to new birth is getting compensated by the death of the people. But what is happening in case of India? Birth rate is high whereas death rate is low. Okay, that means number of dependent population is huge. Number of population between 0 to 14 and 59 and above is more in this situation. Okay, and that is somewhere or the other creating impact on the economy, because these two batches of the population, they are the dependent population. They are depending upon the working crowd. So the income that is earned by the working crowd is getting utilized by them as well as the dependent population. Okay, and there is no saving and investment. Okay, there is no capital formation in the economy. Okay, so the burden of the dependent population reduces the capacity to save, and expenditure increases. Okay, next is effect on per capita income. Okay, now if we compare the national income and per capita income from the initial stage, that is from 1950, we will find that there is no big difference in whether it is national income or per capita income. Okay, from the year 1950 to 1980, India's national income grew at the average annual rate of 3.6 percentage. Okay, that is, the growth rate was just 3.6% from 1950 to 1980. Okay, whereas the per capita income has increased around 1%. Okay, and this is because population growth has increased by 2.5%. So if you look at the growth rate, it is also less. It was just percent for these 30 years. Okay, initial 30 years of independence, we were having just 3.6% of economic growth. And if you divide that growth or national income into per capita income, excuse me, that was just 1%. Okay, or you can say that division was just 1% because there was increase in population by 2.5%. Okay, so here you can see that economic growth rate was very slow. Okay, it was very less. And if you divide that national income into the per capita income, it was even less because number of people were increasing day by day. Okay. Understood? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is effect on food problem. Yes. How there is effect on food problem?
Ma'am, when the population is high, it puts more pressure on agriculture to get more.
Sorry.
When the population is high, it puts the agriculture industry to produce in excess to produce more good and more wheat or means more products of agriculture.
Okay, correct. Correct.
Ma'am, ma'am, large population and larger the consumption.
Correct.
Ma'am, as in the case of workers, those who are on wages, they do not have that much amount of like you can say the payment so that they can feed their family, you know.
Okay. Okay. Now see what happens here in case of increasing population. Obviously, they will demand for the basic, at least for the basic or necessary commodities. Okay, and in that basic, food is the main aspect. Food, clothing, shelter, and education and health. Okay, these are the five basic requirements of any individual. Okay, now food being one of the most important component here, you cannot avoid, I mean you can't say that India's population was let's say 1.2 billion, and the land area which is available in India is around 2 point something percentage of the world. Okay, so we can take care of only this much population. If it increases, we will not provide them food. You can't say that. Okay, because food constitute the basic elements that are required to live your life. Okay, therefore due to the increasing population, demand for food grains or food items are increasing, and this is creating pressure on your land area. Okay, now see, whatever land area was available in India, all the I mean either it was used for industrial purpose, or it was used for agricultural farming, or it was used for this residential area. Okay, as population is increasing, people are demanding more of food items. Okay, so now there is need to produce more. Okay, that means more number of or more amount of land area should be added to agriculture. Yes, so that we can produce or we can increase the production of food items. But what exactly is happening, that We are reducing the land area under agriculture because people need place to live. Okay, they need homes. So for that, what they are doing, they are converting their agricultural farms into residential houses. So, with the increasing population, the land area which were available under agriculture, that is now shifting to residential area. So, the land under agriculture is reducing day by day, whereas population is increasing, and with the increasing population, there is demand for food items. Okay, so again here you can see that demand is more, whereas land area for cultivation is less, which is creating food problem. Now shortage of food grains hampers economic development in two ways. Okay, now how this food problem is hampering economy? Yeah, yes, anybody, is there any guesses how the economy, shortage of food grains, how it can affect the economy? Yes. See, whatever till now we discussed was about the individuals, that with the increasing population, there will be increase in demand for food grains. But what about economy? How it is going to affect economy? Just use your common sense and logic. You will get the answer. Just imagine for yourself, if if there is food shortage and you are not getting proper diet, what will happen?
We will not be able to work for the same, no, not to earn.
Sorry.
We will not be able to work, ma'am, and
Very good.
labor, labor.
Very good.
Malnourishment, ma'am.
Ma'am, create health issues.
Correct, Sarika. Very good. Yes. What will happen in this case? If the individuals are not getting sufficient food, or you can say sufficient quality of food, uh, due to which they will be having health issues. Okay, and when they are not, obviously, when, just imagine for yourself, if you're not getting proper food to eat, okay, due to shortage of food items, if you're not getting proper food to eat, what will happen? You will be becoming sick. Okay, and when you are sick, when you're mentally not prepared, as well as physically, if you're weak, in that situation you won't be able to work. Okay, so it will affect the productivity, it will affect the productivity in the economy, and when productivity is getting hampered, obviously it will affect the economy. जब लोग ही काम नहीं कर रहे properly, when they are not contributing towards the economy, obviously the economic growth rate will go down. Yes. So this is one way how food shortage can affect the economy. Second is the shortage of food grains obliges the underdeveloped countries to import food grains from abroad. So a large part of foreign exchange is spent on it. The development work suffers. So rise in population causes food shortage. Yeah, if you look at the second perspective now, what happens in case of the underdeveloped or developing countries, when they are facing food shortage, they have to buy or import these food items from other countries, foreign countries. और obviously foreign countries इसको free में तो देंगी नहीं, they will be charging the prices. And I think you know what is foreign exchange.
Yes, miss.
Yes, what is foreign exchange?
Ma'am, export demand is increased.
I'm asking foreign exchange.
Foreign currency which are our reserves, so that we need to buy any equipment technology from the foreign country, so we can purchase from that money and from that reserves.
Correct, very good. Yes, foreign exchange reserves are the currencies which are reserved for importing the commodities, and these reserves are created through export of the commodity. Okay, जब हम export करते हैं अपनी commodities को दूसरी country में, so in return we receive income. Okay, and when we are importing, then we have to pay. Okay, so that those currencies are kept in reserves for buying and selling of goods from other countries. Okay, now what happens in case of developing or underdeveloped countries, that due to food shortage in their economy, they have to import these food items. Okay, and importing food material means they are spending their foreign exchange on buying the food materials. Okay, और उसका क्या मतलब है, less amount of money is left for developmental purpose, or less amount of money is left with them to buy better technology or better equipments, because whatever they are earning, that is getting used in purchase of food items. So obviously that economy will not grow. They will only focus on the minimum requirement of the individuals, or they will focus on the minimum needs. They won't be able to come up with the technology, or you can say the assistance from other countries, because whatever they are earning, that is being used for purchase of food materials. So in this way it is going to hamper the economy. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, please read it once. Yes, done. Hello.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you explain the first point again?
Yes, yes, I'll explain. Yes, others, I hope you are listening to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
miss.
Uh, okay, the problem of investment requirements. Okay. Uh, Now see, just before discussing population, we have discussed the problem of poverty. Okay, and if you remember the vicious circle of poverty, that we have the our economy is trapped into a vicious circle, and we are not able to come out of it, and that vicious circle has to be broken. Okay, and for that, one or the other component need to be changed. If you remember yesterday when we were discussing vicious circle of poverty, it is low national income which is giving low per capita income, and then low saving, low capital formation, low investment, and then again low production. Okay, so when your population is increasing, there is requirement for more investment in the economy, because when population is increasing, they will demand for commodities, not for luxury, but at least they will demand for necessary commodities. So to meet that requirement or to increase the production, there is need to increase the investment as well. Okay, but this investment is lacking somewhere or the other. As we have discussed about 1950 to 80, the initial 30 years, uh, we had the economic growth rate of just 3.6%. Okay, and investment was just 1.2%. Whereas looking at the size of the population, around 7% investment is required. Okay, so यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे, the gap is more than 6%. So ये जो gap है उसी की वजह से we are not having, I mean obviously when there is no investment, the industries won't prosper, industries won't increase. Okay, अब अगर इंडस्ट्रीज ही प्रॉपर फंक्शन नहीं करेंगी या फिर उनका प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज नहीं होगा, सो obviously there will be less people who will be getting employment. Okay, and less amount of commodities will be produced in the economy, less amount of commodities are getting produced, that means the income that is generated in the economy will be less. So your national income is low, again your per capita income will be low. So like that, due to one some other thing, or you can say everything has effects. Okay, लेस इन्वेस्टमेंट की वजह से प्रोडक्शन लेस होगा, प्रोडक्शन लेस होने की वजह से national income will be less, and when national income is less, per person's income will also decrease. Okay, so the very first problem that is faced due to overpopulation is the requirement for investment. Okay, requirement is high, whereas supply, or you can say availability or investment, is very low. Okay, so that is again creating pressure on industrial sector as well. Now understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Next is the major problem, that is problem of unemployment. Yes. uh, Now see, large size of population results in large size of labor force. Okay, अगर आपका population ज़्यादा है, that means more number of people will be there in labor force. Okay, but due to the shortage of capital resources, or you can say due to the shortage of investment, it becomes difficult to provide gainful employment to the entire working population. Okay, and due to which other type of unemployments are existing. For example, your disguised unemployment in rural areas, seasonal unemployment in rural areas. Okay, underemployment in urban areas. Okay, now see, due to increasing population, there is need to have there is need for more number of job opportunities. Okay, और ये job opportunities कब create होंगी? When we are having capital formation, when we are having investment in the economy. Now see what is happening with India. If you just look at India and the problem that Indian economy faces, in these 2 or 3 years, you must have heard the opposition and many people agitating over the issue of unemployment, that the current government is not able to provide employment to the people. Have you heard that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that problem arose from this particular government? क्या
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
क्या ये प्रॉब्लम इस गवर्नमेंट के अंडर इमर्ज हुई है?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
This,
अब नो लेकिन ये लोग ने हाईलाइट तो किया है.
see, highlighting is something else. Problem existing is a different story. This problem is existing from the initial stage, that is from 1950s. Okay, if you look at the rate, it is a constant rate of unemployment which is there. Okay, just raising the issues and highlighting it is not enough, because before this government, those who are raising the issues, they were there in the government for 70 years. So what they did in those 70 years, if they would have done something, so today they would not have to cry on unemployment issues. Okay, because infrastructure is not created in a short span of time. It requires a huge time period. Okay, which was sufficient, 70 years were sufficient to create those things. But unfortunately, in India, people are involved in politics and nobody is there for development or for the country. Otherwise, these issues won't. I mean, if you look at the countries, those who got independence later than us, even they are developed. Okay, forget about them. Just look at Japan. You must have heard about the natural conditions over there, that they face the problem of earthquake very frequently. Okay, you must have heard that, due to which they totally get, you can say, the living condition and everything gets affected. But they are very quick to come to the normal things. Okay, you must have heard about use of nuclear weapon on them by America in Second World War. Yes, nuclear use of nuclear weapon means total destruction. Even after that destruction, just look at their economic growth and where they are standing. Okay, we did not had that much of suffering. We didn't had that type of destruction. But then too, still today we are a developing nation. Okay, so that is because a constant effort from the beginning was required, which was lacking in India, because everybody is busy in just showing that yes, if they do one thing, then on 10 news channels you will see the popularization of those things. Okay, rather than focusing on work, now publishing things is more important. So that is what has affected the economy. If you must have heard that people are raising questions over the issue of unemployment. But see, this you have to understand why this unemployment is existing. Okay, if you look at the investment, you just think of yourselves. Just think how many people are paying the taxes. Okay, we are having around 1.2 to 1.3 billion population, but out of that, how many people are paying taxes? It is just the 2% of the entire population which is paying tax, whereas 98% are demanding. So कहाँ से आने वाला है पैसा? And those who are not, forget about taxes, just think about people who are investing. Okay, you will find that majority of the people are in the middle class, whose income is getting consumed. Okay, जो भी वो कमाते हैं वो उनका एक्सपेंडिचर में खत्म हो जाता है, और अगर नहीं भी होता है, so they, if they keep also, they keep in savings. They don't invest in any industry or stock or anywhere else. Okay, very few percentage of population invests in the industrial sector or stock exchange or in some productive ways, whereas majority of them keeps their remaining amount in their savings. Okay, सो जब से इन्वेस्टमेंट ही नहीं है इकोनॉमी में, पैसा ही नहीं है, so how you are expecting that this increasing population, this population explosion will be observed in the employment? ओके, बिकॉज एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करने के लिए तो आपको पैसा चाहिए ना, आपको एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करने के लिए यू नीड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, यू नीड इन्वेस्टमेंट. ओके,
Ma'am, just a doubt. Ma'am, the part of savings, matlab the savings is happening, but savings also forms a part of capital formation, right?
no, when saving is converted into investment, then it becomes part of capital formation. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because what's your name?
Ma'am, Ashish
Yes,
ma'am.
Ashish. Ashish, now see, for example, you have one lakh rupee as a saving in your account. Okay. In return, you must be receiving some rate of interest, depending upon in which bank you have, depending upon their rate of interest that they are providing. You will be receiving the returns. Roughly, we can say 6%. Okay, roughly the 6% that you are receiving. But what is the guarantee that you will keep that 1 lakh for this time period? In case of
No,
saving, what happens? I mean, it is up to the individual. If I have requirement today, I can withdraw it today itself. But what happens in case of investment, when you have invested your amount of money in somewhere or the other, you invest it for a fixed period, or a let's say if you are investing in mutual funds, or if you are making it fixed deposit. Okay, okay, now see, in case of fixed deposit, आप उसको 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, whatever, you are depositing it for certain time period. Okay, that means bank can use your fixed deposit in some productive process. Bank can invest. Okay, because bank know that you have invested for, let's say, 1 year, so you're not going to withdraw before 1 year, so that 1 lakh rupee can be used in business activities. Okay, the bank can invest in some projects, and in return whatever they are earning out of that, they will give you your percentage. Okay, there is
yes,
a,
ma'am.
if you're investing in mutual funds, even that is for certain time period. Okay, and depending upon the business, अगर वहां पे प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, so you will, आपने सुना होगा म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एड जो टीवी पे आता है. ओके,
No risk. There is no risk in mutual funds.
म्यूचुअल फंड्स आर,
Subject to market risk.
या वो बहुत ही फास्ट स्पीड में बोलते हुए जाता रहता है, दैट इट इज सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क. ओके, दैट मीन्स योर मनी, यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इट फॉर अ सर्टेन टाइम पीरियड, एंड इट इज सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क. इट मीन्स if there is profit in the market, you will receive higher rate of interest. If there is loss in the market, you may lose whatever you have invested, or you may earn less returns depending upon the market. That means you have invested your money for a time period. Okay, so that is capital formation. Whereas in case of saving, there is no surety. मैंने आज 1 लाख रखा है, कल को मुझे जरूरत पड़ रही है, मैंने विड्रॉ कर लिया. Nobody is going to charge any amount on it. Whereas if you are aware, in case of fixed deposits, or you can say in case of these investment, if you are investing for a time period, and if you withdraw before the maturity date, you won't be getting that rate of interest, as well as there are certain deduction charges. Yes. So
Yes, ma'am.
those charges are to compensate the loss that the bank is facing due to you breaking your FD, or the investment before maturity date. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but in comparison with stock market, mutual funds are a little bit better, right? Taking a public perception in
Yes.
comparison with stock market.
Yes. Now see, in case of stock market, if you have the proper knowledge, I mean, and if you're good at predictions, so it's about knowledge and luck both. In case of mutual funds, if you refer which are the best places to invest, then accordingly you can, I mean, looking at the goodwill and profile of the companies, you can do that. Okay, सो दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, अभी जितना भी हमने इन्वेस्टमेंट का इशू डिस्कस किया, नाउ या if you look at the economy, we are having huge number of population which is below poverty line. So government has to provide them the basic requirement. You have your public distribution system, ration shops. वहां पे अगर आपको पता हो, you are getting wheat or rice at 1 rupee per kg, 2 rupee per kg. Now government is not getting at 1 rupee or 2 rupee per kg. Now just imagine the situation of the government. Being the agrarian economy, farmers are protesting that there should be MSP, okay, or you can say for every product there should be some minimum price, otherwise farmers are suffering. So government has to pay that price. When the government is selling those products, those food grains that they have purchased from the farmers, when they have to distribute it, you want it at free of cost, or 1 rupee or 2 rupee per kg, okay, so that the poor section of the population can get the food items, okay, ताकि उनको फूड मिल सके, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट वो कम से कम पैसों में बेचना चाहिए. So again, whatever is the loss here, because government is buying at a price, but they are not selling on the same price to the uh, people by using public distribution system. So whatever is the losses in between, that government has to bear. Government has to spend on the employment opportunities. Investments are not there. People paying taxes. अभी जो मैंने 2% बोला है. Now just imagine being such a huge population, if such a minimum number of people who are paying taxes, so government के पास कितना पैसा आ रहा है tax collection से? Yes, and out of this percentage also, those who are from the middle class, or you can say those who are in the initial stage of paying taxes, okay, that is you can say between 10 lakh rupees, before 10 lakh rupees, what they do, they file returns, okay, वो अपना जो भी होता है, जो भी उनके एक्सपेंडिचर है, इन्वेस्टमेंट है, वो सब शो करके वो लोग रिटर्न फाइल कर देते हैं. गवर्नमेंट हैज टू पे देम बैक. सो कितना पैसा गवर्नमेंट के पास बच रहा है जो वो इन्वेस्टमेंट करे और न्यू इंडस्ट्रीज सेटअप करे. एंड दिस इज द रीजन गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक लोन्स फ्रॉम दी international agencies like IMF and World Bank. Okay, so this is a severe issue, and this can't be sorted out in a year or two or in a 5 year. It requires a long time period, so that the root cause can be, the government can work on the root cause, and we can have better economic growth and employment opportunities. Because you are demanding everything from the government, that is not possible. Even you have to contribute, no? You're increasing the population, you're not investing, you're not even paying the taxes, but you want all the facilities. That can't be, that won't work, no? Just imagine about your family. Suppose your family income is less, okay? In that also, if you will demand, I want this, I want that, I want this also, that also, from where your father, your parents are going to arrange those things, from where? If they are not having the sufficient income, they have to take loans. So this is what happening with the country, okay? So if we want to have a proper economic growth or development, then we have to focus on all these elements effectively, okay? The entire population together, they have to work together, rather than just raising questions or demanding. Even the population has to contribute. Understood? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please take 10 minutes
Yes,
break.
ma'am.
Take 10 minutes break. We'll continue from here.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. Next issue is low standard of living. Now see, standard of living of the people depends upon the level of income. Okay, if you are earning if your income is good, if you are earning high income, higher the income, higher will be the standard of living. Whereas what is happening here, due to the huge population, as we have discussed the problem of unemployment, how people are getting less job opportunities, okay, and due to this they are having low standard of living. According to Dr. Chandrasekhar, population in India increased by about 1.60 crore. It requires 121 lakh tons of food grains, 1.9 lakh meters of cloth and 2.6 lakh houses, and 52 lakh additional jobs. Okay, so that was the number which was given a long back. If you look at the current population explosion, accordingly, there is shortage of job opportunities, there is shortage of food material, there is a shortage of, you can say, places to live, okay, that is shelter. So all these things is contributing towards low standard of living. If you want to improve the standard of living of the people, then first of all you need to control the population, okay, so that the existing resources can be utilized to fulfill the basic requirements of the existing population. Next, poverty. Yes, somebody would like to explain poverty as a side effect of population. Yes.
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so due to poverty, there is illiteracy, and due to illiteracy, we have due to illiteracy, there is unemployment, and due to unemployment, that is a problem.
Correct. Yes. Now, in case of poverty, people are not able to afford education at good places. Okay, because the whatever they are earning, their earnings are getting used in the consumption. Okay, that is providing food, shelter, the basic requirements, and whatever amount of money is left, that they are spending on the education. You must have seen that many a times in poor families kids are dropouts, okay, even if they manage to complete their 10th standard, then continuing the higher education becomes difficult for them. And if you are not qualified, you won't get the jobs, okay, as job opportunities are less, so these opportunities will be grabbed by those who are well qualified, okay. And if you are having unemployment, again, it is the circle which is unbreakable. So if you want to break that chain, then you need to take some extra efforts, okay. And that is the reason poverty is, you can say, the major setback of population explosion. Okay, now obviously when suppose 10 job opportunities are there and 1,000 people are standing, so out of that 1,000 only 10 are going to get the job, the rest will be unemployed till the next job opportunity is created. So if you have to select 10 people from 1,000, you're going to select best 10, but even others need to get employment, no? That is the main issue in case of population explosion, that here people are not able to get the opportunities, and that is the reason the people are falling below poverty line day by day. Okay, and it has the I mean, these issues or these problems are interlinked to each other. Due to poverty they are illiterate, due to illiteracy they are not able to get employment, when they are unemployed they are again poor. Burden of unproductive consumers. Yes, who are the unproductive consumers? Who are the unproductive consumers in the economy?
Ma'am, who consume every resource in the country but don't provide any kind of help or assessment or any kind of value back to the country.
Okay, so these are the people who are the dependent population. That is children's below the age group of 0 to 14,
Old persons.
from 60 and above.
Unemployed people.
Okay, yes, even unemployed individuals. So burden of these individuals are huge on the economy. Okay, because entire burden is beared by the working population or the government by providing unemployment allowance or the old age pension, etc. So even that burden is huge, no? Looking at the size of the population, these issues are severe. If every individual contributes to the economy, at the end we will have larger national income. But as the unproductive population is also huge, so even that is creating another, you can say, pressure on economy. If you're talking about, if we look at the 2001 survey, as per that, working population was 39.2%, while 60.8% were unproductive workers. Okay, अगर हम 2001 के सेंसस की बात करें, if we look at the survey, out of that 39.2% was the working population, whereas around 60% population was the unproductive consumers. Okay, so 39% is bearing the burden of they are bearing the cost of unproductive, that is extra 60%. Okay, अगर यही 60% का भी कुछ contribution होता, so it would have been economic growth and development. I mean, it would have added to the growth and development. Okay, and this is due to high population, I mean high birth rate and low death rate. Okay, now the life expectancy has increased in India. People are living for a longer time period as compared to what it was after independence in 1950s or 60s. Okay, so and the birth rate is high, that means more number of children are there, people are living for a longer time period, that means old age people are there. So this is the unproductive consumers which are also becoming burden on the economy. Okay, ये burden कब नहीं होगा, जब ये जो population growth है ये एक control में रहेगा. Okay, depending upon the size of the families, if the birth rate is in control, it won't become the burden. Okay, obviously if one person is earning or two individuals are earning, they can take care of 3 or 4 or 5 people. But if 10 to 15 people are there, then obviously they will become burden on the family as well as the economy. Please read these points once and let me know if you have doubt in any of these. Yes, any doubt? Reply fast.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, man.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Population and social problems. Yes, anybody, any idea about this point? Yes. Yes, what are the social problems due to population? Yes, कोई social problem नहीं है?
Illiteracy.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
due to overpopulation, means there are cities where people are overcrowded, so it face water scarcity, then
Very good.
water scarcity, and uh, there are not proper transportation. And due
Correct.
to overpopulation, there are many unemployments where people get involved in anti-state activities, means anti-social activities such as robbery, kidnapping,
Very
criminal
good.
activities, etc.
Very good. Yes, these are the social problems. Okay. Now, if we look at the one perspective, what happens in case of rural areas where job opportunities are not there, people tend to migrate to the urban areas in search of job opportunities, and as a result, migration take place. Okay, and when these people are migrating, when these people are shifting from rural areas to urban areas, they need place to live, and that lead to creation of slums. Okay, where people are living in situations where they are not getting proper water supply, proper electricity supply, or even sanitation facilities are not available. Okay, so they are forced to live in inhuman conditions sometimes. Okay, that is one aspect. Another, what happens in case of educated youth, when they when they don't get the job opportunities, okay, when they are unemployed, they involve in anti-social activities like robbery, uh, prostitution, murder, etc. And many a times you must have seen the terrorist activities as well. Okay, आपने जो भी terrorist activity देखी होगी, you must have seen that either those terrorists are from poor background, or they are they are brainwashed. Okay, but you will find one of the causes poverty and the money that was promised to them after doing such activities. Okay, so the poverty, or you can say the overpopulation, that leads the educated youth, I mean, they get frustrated when they don't get proper job opportunities. Okay, and they end up working, they end up being part of the antisocial activities like robbery, theft, prostitution, murder, or terrorist activities. Okay, uh, even along with that, there are different environmental issues as well that we'll discuss later. Uh, but here in this point, we can discuss about the antisocial activities, people involving in antisocial activities due to huge population. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
More
ma'am.
pressure on land. Okay. If you remember, I think yesterday only we discussed this point that increasing population and the land area within the Indian territory is going to remain the same. ओके चाहे वो 1.3 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन हो या फिर 3 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन हो ओके वट एवर इज द पॉपुलेशन the territory or the land area within India is going to remain the same. Okay, but due to this increasing population, there is huge pressure on land. uh, if you remember, we have discussed that what happens in case of our system. Suppose there is a father who is owning a land area. Okay, he's a farmer and he is owning a land area. Then he has, for example, he has two sons. Then his property or the his land area will get divided into two parts. Then again sons will have their children's. Okay, now the even daughters get the property. So suppose they are each child is having each person is having three kids. In that case, the further division into three parts. So the land in proportion to the population is diminishing day by day. Okay, whereas this increasing population requires, there is demand for food grains from this population. They need residential area from residential area as well. So all this is creating pressure on land. Okay, the division of land, the division of property, division of agricultural land area, I mean division and further division is somewhere or the other diminishing the quality, and also it is affecting the output. Okay, how it affects output, that suppose it is a big farm area, they can employ better technology, better machines, and carry on the production process. But if it is a smaller area, I mean, such big machines can't work on those areas. So they have to depend upon the traditional method of farming. Okay, where they are, their production decreases. So there is pressure on land, which is increasing day by day due to increasing population. Next is impact on maternity welfare. What is maternity welfare? Yes, any idea? No idea? Okay. Now, maternity welfare due to high birth rate. Okay. If you look at the age of marriage in India, age of marriage for girls is 18 years and for boys it is 21 year. Okay. Now, when we talk about maternity welfare, we are talking about woman and child. Okay, that is newborn baby and the woman, mother. Okay, so now suppose if a female gets married at the age of 18 or 20, she can reproduce till the age of 45 to 50. Okay, which is a huge span, almost 30 years. And as we are having high birth rate, they are reproducing child without having gaps or without following proper, you can say, planning, due to which what happens, it hampers the health of the child as well as the mother. And therefore we must have heard about many maternal, maternal mortality rate, that is children's dying before reaching the age of 1, is due to all these reasons. If mother is not healthy, if mother is not getting proper food or proper facilities when she is pregnant, the child, that I mean the child that she is going to give birth, that child is also going to be weak. Okay, and as a result, many people, I mean, especially in case of rural areas, the childrens die before reaching the age of 1 year. So your there is high mortality rate even in case of maternal death. Okay, or you can say maternity deaths during this delivery process or pregnancy or you can say reproduction, women's lose their life. Okay, still in rural areas people don't take them to the hospitals and all, due to which they are losing their life. And their age group, I mean the time period which is there for reproduction. Okay, if they are getting married at 18 or 20, they can reproduce till 40 to 45. Okay, so this is a huge period, and increasing birth rate, high birth rate is somewhere or the other affecting mother as well as newborn kid. Okay, so if you want to improve the maternity welfare, or if you want to work on the health of the newborn child and the mother, then there is need to bring the welfare measures. Okay, maternity welfare measures, and also improve the status of women in society. Okay, and all this is possible when the women are educated, when they are well aware about family planning, when they know what can be done. Okay, so this totally depends upon education and awareness. Then only status of women can be improved. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Last point, pressure on land. Yes, sorry, pressure on environment. Okay, as we have seen in case of pressure on land, how increasing population is hampering land area. Same is the case with other resources. Okay, increasing population increases pollution too. Okay, more toxic waste in the water bodies, more air pollution due to traffic and all.
Deforestation.
Yes, deforestation, as people want more area for residential or agricultural purpose. What they are doing, they are cutting down the trees and uh, establishing their houses. Yes, more consumption. I mean, for developmental process, we are somewhere or the other affecting the environment. Yes, for building bridges, dams, roads, etc. We are hampering the environment. So this population explosion is hindering the economic development in total. I mean, if we have to conclude this topic here, that is problems faced due to population explosion, we can say that it is the population explosion. I mean, if we just look at from a common person's perspective, those who are not in favor of family planning or birth control, for them it is just the matter of their family, that yes, I am earning, I can take care. But it is not just a family. If you combine these families, it will become a region, it will become a state, and then it will become a country. Okay, so somewhere or the other, every individual has to think on these problems, because I feel population explosion is the root cause of all the other problem of unemployment, poverty, illiteracy, etc. If you have the controlled population, if you have the minimum people, I mean the controlled population, in that case the other facilities can be made available to the population. Okay, here due to the huge number, it is not possible. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just read these points once. and let me know if you have any doubt. Yes, is there any doubt?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have a doubt on impact on maternity welfare.
Okay. Okay, when we talk about maternity welfare, it means we are talking about the health of the newborn child, that is before reaching the age of 1 year, and the mother. Okay, that is your maternity welfare. Now what happens here, due to high number of birth, okay, uh, women's not taking precautions, women not taking care of the family planning, etc. I mean, the family is not taking care of family planning, due to which the health of women gets affected. Okay, and due to the poverty, or you can say lack of food shortage and proper living conditions, the health of the mother as well as the child is not proper. Okay, they are not getting the proper food and nutrition that is required for their development. Okay, due to which the child is affected as well as mother gets affected. Okay, so for that, the thing that is needed is bringing awareness, educating women, etc., so that there will be change in the status of women, and when they are self sufficient, they can take care of themselves. Okay, so that is required. If you want to grow, you need to bring the maternity welfare.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so here we are done with the problem of population as well. Now the only concept that is remaining from this chapter is national income trend, that we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay, I think tomorrow we have one regular lecture and one extra lecture, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll try to wind up this chapter tomorrow.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know what chapters will you give in the test?
I inform no, first three and the fifth chapter.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Give me the attendance for these two lectures. Just a second. Ashutosh,
Present, ma'am.
Vignesh,
Present, ma'am.
Rushabh, Manisha,
Present, ma'am.
Akshita, Akshita, Nadia,
Present, ma'am.
Siddesh,
Present, ma'am.
Anuj, Dikshit Anuj, Siona,
Present, ma'am.
Claire,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish,
Present, ma'am.
Brinda,
Present, ma'am.
Isha,
Present, ma'am.
Sakshi,
Present, ma'am.
Nidhi,
Present, ma'am.
Samiksha,
Present, ma'am.
Abhishek,
Present, ma'am.
Ayush.
Present, ma'am.
Abhishek, where were you? Gupta Abhishek. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Where were you?
Ma'am, I was not well.
Please submit the medical certificate.
Okay, ma'am. I will WhatsApp you.
Yes. Email it to me. No, don't WhatsApp. Shramik. Shramik. Shruti. Jadhav Shruti.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Lavesh.
Present, ma'am.
Krishan.
Present, ma'am.
Ashish.
Present, ma'am.
Bhumi.
Present, ma'am.
Roseman.
Present, ma'am.
Monica.
Present, ma'am.
Prived.
Present, ma'am.
Siddhi. Siddhi. Ansh.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Anshuman. Anshuman. Gupta.
Present, ma'am.
Narayan.
Present, ma'am.
Pooja.
Present, ma'am.
Shantanu.
Present, ma'am.
Shruti.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Shall Dave. Dave.
Present, ma'am.
Aditi.
Present, ma'am.
Pratiksha.
Present, ma'am.
Harita.
Present, ma'am.
Harita. Diksha.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Pranav.
Present, ma'am.
Shivani.
Present, ma'am.
Jyoti.
Present, ma'am.
Sarika.
Present, ma'am.
Jessica. Jessica. Safa.
Present, ma'am.
Anurag.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Mayank. Nandini.
Present, ma'am.
Radha.
Present, ma'am.
Neha.
Present, ma'am.
Aniha.
Present, ma'am.
Aditya Shukla.
Present, ma'am.